like a conqueror, like a conqueror.
All right, everyone, welcome to the pre-race show for the Reigel Promotions E-Sports Premier Racing Setups King's Clash event. My name is Benjamin Wirt. I'm joined here with our league owner, Andrew Reigel, and our broadcasters over at the Buckeye Racing Network, Tyler Bentley and Tim Henderson. Guys, how are you guys doing tonight?
Phenomenal.
Doing absolutely fantastic.
Just wonderful.
Delightful.
That is awesome here, guys. My first question to you guys that I gotta get started with is, how excited is everyone for these next 2 nights of racing? Andrew?
I don't think I could be more excited. I mean, I was excited for weeks because I wouldn't tell you what I was planning. So
Yeah, I'm definitely very, very excited. I'm looking forward to. We got a lot of good drivers registered. I think it's going to be a great event. Tyler, Tim, what are your guys' thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited. You know, watching sprint cars around the Eldora Speedway is like none other. And, you know, looking at the entry list of drivers here, we're going to have 2 great nights of racing.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Can't wait to see what kind of show these guys put on.
Yeah, for sure. Next I want to talk about is what everyone's looking forward to most about either one of these next 2 nights. I guess I'll start. What I'm looking forward to most is for Tuesday nights, the big event King's Clash. I'm looking forward to the randomized invert that we're going to have for the heat races of either 0, 2, 4, 5, or 6. I mean, the kind of chaos side of me is definitely looking for the spin to either be 5 or 6 for sure. But yeah, I'm excited to see if anybody tries to sandbag expecting maybe that big invert, or if everyone just goes full bore in time trials and tries to set the fast lap and hope for no inverts. Andrew, what are you most excited for?
well, I wish I could change it now and make it 10 for the invert, but that's my personal opinion. But really, what I'm looking forward to the most is just seeing the field come together with all these great sprint car drivers from different leagues, and they're all good in their own right, and putting together a special event that makes them feel like pretty much like the racing, like a real life event that at a big magnitude.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're right about that. Tyler, what are you looking forward to the most about the next 2 nights?
Oh, just seeing how these drivers put together the next couple of nights with, you know, qualifying positions and the battling up through the fields, depending on how that all shakes out, and the close racing and drivers getting right up next to that outside wall, running the cushion line around here. I love seeing that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the different lines too, and yeah, to see how close these guys get to that outside wall for sure. Tim, what do you got to add?
I'm just excited to see what line everyone's going to be using in terms of during the feature. Well, honestly, throughout the whole night, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely for sure. All right, now I guess we'll move into where I turn it over here to Andrew, let him kind of explain a little bit more in detail about the couple of interesting formats we have for these next 2 nights that we haven't seen yet before in our league history. So, Andrew, you're up.
All right. Well, first off, right after this, we're going to open up open practice session. That's at 8 o'clock in our special events league. So if you are registered or would like to register, message me or our Facebook page or something, and make sure you get in there if you'd like to practice tonight. That'll be the first time you get your hands on the fixed setups, which are made by our event sponsor, Premier Racing Setups. It's a great setup. A lot of drivers have told me they really like it, and we're looking forward to it. That way, I know it's not open setup, which a lot of people like, but we like to make it as even playing field as possible, so that way all types of drivers have a shot. We can't, since there's since the first night's 30 laps and the second's 40, we can't put two fixed setups in it, so it'll be open setup in the practice, so I will share the setup with everyone else when we get into the session, so that way you guys can use it then. And that'll go through 10 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow is Right Rear Racing, the Sovereign Showdown. Pill draw will be generated at 8 o'clock, and then session open at 8:30, and be followed by a driver's meeting at 8:40, and then right after that will be a new sponsor, Green Man Gaming Hot Laps, which is going to be done in groups. So whatever group that iRacing assigns you when you join the session, you will go out in that, and you'll get 3 laps each. And that should be about 8 to 10 cars per group. And then there'll be Victory Fuel time trials, just be 1 car at a time. Your best 2 laps will count on that. We have it set at 3, so that way on pit road it doesn't like start your lap or something like that. And we'll have a 4-car invert for the heat races tomorrow night. And we're looking probably at around either 4 or 5 heat races. We got some great sponsors for that, like Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions got Heat 1, Oliver's Sim Sports Heat 2, Right Rear Racing Heat 3, and then Third Party Gaming Heat 4. Still got one for Heat 5, so if you're interested, contact me. Then we got set up for 8-lap D main, and a 10-lap C main, and a 12-lap B main if we need it. And we'll start 24 cars in the 30-lap feature, which would be $80 top 5 payout. So I believe it's $30 to win, 20, 15, 10, and then 5. And before that, we'll have the Hornet Graphics Shop redraw, which will take place in the warm-up session. Track will be closed unless we say otherwise. While we do the redraw, which will be the top 2 from each heat race, they'll be in the redraw. And then the winner of the feature event on Tuesday night, then for the King's Clash, they will have the advantage of going out in single car time trials whenever they choose. And only the top 3 will get interviewed, and all of the action will be live on the Buckeye Racing Network with Tim and Tyler. Then we have the big night on Tuesday, and don't worry if you miss tonight or Monday. Other than the winner getting to pick when they go out for time trials, it does not affect anything. But Tuesday night, Premier Racing Setups King's Clash. Once again, the pill draw will be generated at 8 o'clock and session open at 8:30. Event registration is open until 8 p.m. and will close directly after that. So that is when you have to get your entries in to be a part of the big event. Once again, we'll do hot laps the same way as Monday night with 3 laps each, 8 to 10 cars per group. Single car time trials, you got 1 at a time. We'll call you out, and that'll be decided by the pill draw order, which will be generated in a spreadsheet. And then we got up to 6 heat races, which I believe either way we're going to have those. And those will be 10 laps each. So that way, when we spin the invert, then no matter what it is, that way they have time to actually get through up there to have a chance. And the D main will be 10 laps, C main will be 12 laps, and the B main will be 15 laps, taking the top 4 to the feature event, as the top 3 will advance through the 6 heat races. Same thing with the redraw. We'll do that in the warm-up session. And then King's Clash feature will be 40 laps, $200 to win, and then $20 to take the green. And of course, we have 2 guaranteed starters, which one of them we're going to interview. Well, I think both of them we're going to interview here very shortly, with Josh Borowski being the first non-qualifier in the School of Sim Racing Classic back in May, and he earned a guaranteed spot in the feature. And Caden Berry won our championship event at Eldora back on May 20th, so he also has a guaranteed spot. All right, I think that's mostly what I have for the race format.
Yeah, I think you covered pretty much just about everything as far as what's new and what can be expected to be new.
I guess.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a few extra things. Just like, for example, we are going to do 4 wide, both nights. So that's something to look forward to, and it'll be odd row split. So the first row we'll go wide. The late models, they kind of messed it up when we did that back in June. So, and then the even rows will fill behind them. And yeah, the heat race invert thing will be 0, 2, 4, 5, or 6, and that'll be done in a wheel generator.
Yep, I'm actually going to show that right now. So on stream, this is going to be the wheel generator we will use, just a very generic wheel generator. As you can see, got 0, 2, 4, 5, and 6 all on here. So for example, if this was after the conclusion of the time trials on Tuesday night, I would go ahead and spin this. And so for example, it landed on the 5. So if this was Tuesday night, that would mean there would be a 5-car invert for the heat races on Tuesday night. But obviously this isn't Tuesday night, so this is not what the invert is going to look like. But just to give you an idea, that's what we got that we'll be using. All right, I guess it's time to get to our interviews. Looks like we have 2 of our guys in there right now, either Josh Borowski or Ty Williams. I guess we will start with Mr. Borowski, one of our guaranteed starters. Let's bring him up. Hey Josh, it's Ben, Andrew, Tyler, and Tim up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, man, first thing I want to ask you is how are you doing this fine Sunday night?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome, awesome to hear. All right, I will start with the first question for you. And first thing I want to ask you, being that you're one of our 2 guaranteed starters for the big event on Tuesday night, the King's Clash, I want to ask what your kind of mindset is going into that night and what your basically goals are for that race. Like obviously you'll be one of the 24 starters, but are you just hoping to basically survive the night or do you hope to challenge maybe for like a top 10 or maybe even a top 5? What are your goals going into Tuesday night?
Well, the goal for Tuesday night, honestly, at this point is I just want to try to relax and hope for a good run and kind of see where things go. You know, if we get a top 10, we get a top 10. I'm hoping for a good run that we can, get up there but it's kind of got to see where things go.
Gotcha. All right. Andrew, what would you like to ask Josh?
I'd say, what really are you looking forward to the most out of the format or just being a part of the event in general?
Honestly, just being a part of the event in general is a feat for me. Really looking forward to just being a part of the event. I'm happy that it's going to be broadcasted. That's kind of cool. Learning a thing or two would be great. I know there's going to be some pretty good drivers in there, so even after the race is over, watch it.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely have a lot of great drivers who definitely can learn a thing or two for them for sure. No matter how good of a driver you are, that's for sure. Tyler, what would you like to ask Josh?
Hey Josh, how do you feel about Eldora and the sprint cars? Are you comfortable around here? Do you have you ran many laps in a sprint car around Eldora? Do you like running, maybe down low or up near the wall?
I do like running Eldora, but I do not like running the wall. I'm not a person to put it on the lip and run it around here. I like running, slider lines, the bottom, the middle. I know the track goes to the top sometimes, but I always hope and pray that it doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that'll be something we'll be keeping our eye on up in the booth for sure come Tuesday. Back to you, Andrew. Benjamin.
Yeah, Tim, you're last up on the list. What would you like to ask Josh? Tim, you got a copy?
I apologize. What do you think is going to be most key going into the next couple nights?
The key thing is just going to be reading that track and trying to predict where it's going to go, honestly. And that's where I feel it's going to be, is just being able to read the track, know where the line's going to be, try to predict where it's going to go so that you can set yourself up to be there later. You don't want to be stuck in the bottom when the track goes to the top, that's for sure.
Yeah, you definitely got to move around and find where that good line is for sure.
Correct.
Does anybody else have anything they want to ask Josh before we let him go? All right. Well, Josh, obviously you're guaranteed to be in the big event on Tuesday night, so you're guaranteed to at least get $20 there. But hopefully, we're wishing you luck, and hopefully you can make that even more than $20.
I thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you again for coming and getting a word in with us.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
All right, so that was Josh Borowski, one of our 2 guaranteed starters for the King's Clash. So let me get the next one in here. Looks like that will be Ty Williams. Let's get his picture pulled up. Hey Ty, it's Ben, Andrew, Tyler, and Tim up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Ty, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, first thing I want to ask you is, how is your night going so far this Sunday evening?
It's going pretty good if my AC didn't go out.
Oh, no.
And I got a pretty good sunburn from being outside all day yesterday working.
Oh, my. Yeah, this is definitely probably not one of the days you want his AC to go out.
Oh, no. A lot of has been going on.
Well, first thing I want to ask you, Ty, is what are your goals coming into the night, or on Tuesday night for the King's Clash? Are you, obviously we just had Josh in here and he was already a guaranteed starter, so we were just asking him if he was just hoping to basically survive the night and just happy to be here, or if he was going to hope to try and challenge for a top 10. But since you're not guaranteed, are you hoping just to make the show, or are you hoping for even more, like a top 10 or top 5?
I'm hoping for a top 5. I ain't gonna lie. Monday night, I'm basically gonna use it as a feel out the competition for Tuesday. And obviously tonight, I'm gonna come on to practice, get used to the setup and how it drives, and come Tuesday, it's gonna be definitely get up and go mode, and hope everything goes well.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people would agree with you about Monday night, that they're just kind of use it to get a gauge and a feel for what the competition's going to be like and where their pace is going to be at. Andrew, what would you like to ask Ty?
Well, obviously, Ty, I know you're going to be burning the fence down. So, with that being said,
I tried and handsome.
what do you think the percentage is that you don't flip in one of the races?
The percentages of me not flipping in one of the races is a solid 35. I've been running Eldora quite a bit. A long time ago, I was king of the non-wing at Eldora in this Nora Racing League. I don't know if it's still around. and that was a rare occasion. Ty was on the bottom. So I do know how to run the bottom, but I love the top.
Yeah, I definitely love running the top at Eldora too, but yeah, sometimes you do have to be on the bottom depending on how the track is. Tyler, what did you want to ask Ty?
Hey Ty, we watch your race quite a bit here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Know you like running the top side and like Eldora in general. Kind of maybe what's your expectations? You know, we got a really heavy hitter driver entry list coming into this King's Clash event, and how do you like your chances for each night?
I kind of like my chances of being like a top 10, top 5 pretty good. I just need to figure out how to beat Caden Barry, because obviously he's ran a lot of the shows, and just the other week we were at Cedar Lake, and I talked to Reigel before the league, and I told him, I said, I'd never qualify good. I'm not a qualifier. I'm more of the racer in the race. Well, I surprisingly qualified 4th, and I texted Reigel, and I was like, hey, I qualified good. Next thing you know, I was like, well, now my night's going to go to crap because I qualified good. It's going to be backwards. And it wasn't. When I had Benjamin over here say, hey, you're starting outside pole, I'm like, oh boy. This whole night switched, and of course I had Caden right there with me, and I'm like, well, this is a real challenge of if I'm faster or not. But I feel like we're going to have a good car and stuff, so gonna
I
see
feel
how
like the track will really fit your driving style based on what I've seen, at least.
Yeah, definitely Eldora is one of my better tracks because it sets up for the top pretty good. But lately I've been running it a lot and with my friends and stuff, and we've been just letting the track go and slick off, and found a little sweet spot line I can't put out there, you know. It's my little secret sweet spot line, but we're gonna see how it works. It's either I'm hitting one wall or the other wall. Basically it.
Yeah, definitely. Tim, last up, anything you want to ask Ty?
Yeah, what are some of your most favorite characteristics of the track?
My most favorite's usually around sometimes heat race when it's just starting to slick off entry, and probably halfway through the feature when it takes who can pedal it and definitely find where the moisture's at. And like, I race sprint cars in real life, so my home track is beginning of night, you're not lifting, and by the time you're halfway through that feature, you're all trying to figure out a good position in the throttle and find moisture.
That's going to be interesting to see how everyone manages that the next couple nights.
Oh yeah, 'cause I know Reigel likes them a little bit slick, and I'm sitting there and figured out a little trick that I noticed Caden does. He don't push it as hard at the beginning when it's tacky to gain positions, and at the end when it is that time to pedal it, he still has some meat on the tires and he goes.
Yeah, definitely. I think with our based on our league history, I think Caden is definitely at least one of the favorites. But we do have a lot of really good cars, so I don't know if he's necessarily the favorite. But
Oh yeah, I seen Trevor Royer and them. I was like, oh boy, here we go. We got the heavy hitters.
Yep, we
Especially
definitely.
I've raced against him a lot, so.
There is more, so.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's going to be a stacked field for sure. I think it's going to be a challenge just to make the race. I think for a lot of cars.
Yep.
Well, does anyone else have anything else they want to ask Ty before we let him go?
I got one more question.
All right, go ahead.
If you were able to win the race, what would it mean to you?
It would definitely mean a lot to me and the boys here at the shop at 3PG and all that good stuff. Just me freshly coming on with them this year and becoming a house driver and the main one, really. And you got like Troy Hart that's always ran with them. And they pulled me on this year and gave me an opportunity to run a speed shop through them. And just, it would mean a lot. It's one of the biggest shows I probably have ever won.
We definitely enjoyed working with them with the Challenge Series. We had great car counts for that, and we look forward to keep working with them. And like you showed really good speed last week, so hopefully you can carry it into this week for your sake.
Most definitely. Tonight would definitely tell me how it goes.
And plus, if you do wind up winning, you'd be $200 richer.
I would definitely be $200 richer, that's for sure. And that's going towards a lot of baby diapers.
I can imagine.
and you get a nice ass trophy. So
there you go, even better. All right, Ty. Well, we appreciate you getting a word in with us. We wish you the best of luck for Monday night and especially Tuesday night, and hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you.
All right, so that was Ty Williams, one of the 3PG drivers. Looks like we have Rob Puckett in there now waiting, so we'll get him in here in just a second. Hey Rob, it's Ben, Andrew, Tyler, and Tim up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yep, I got you loud and clear, buddy. How are you doing this fine evening, Rob?
Relaxing a little bit. Finished doing some things needed to get done today, but other than that, yeah, hopefully this ought to be fun through this whole next couple of days, you know?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute blast for sure. First thing I want to ask you is what are your goals heading into this big event? I know with how many really good drivers we have, I know it's going to be a tall task for a lot of drivers just to make the show. Is that maybe your goal is to make the big show on Tuesday night, or are you hoping for even more than that, like maybe even squeak in a top 10 or even top 5?
Oh, well, that's kind of, for me, always the game plan. Sometimes things work. A lot of times they don't for me. But no, really, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to gun for trying to make both days. Yeah,
well, I hope you do. I mean, we're definitely rooting for you to make it. And I think it'd be great to see you in that big field with a lot of really good drivers. Andrew, what would you like to ask Rob?
let's see. First off, Rob, I watched through many races with us because I think, I don't know the exact amount, but I think you've maybe missed 3, maybe 4 races ever. I think at this point that I can remember at least. And I watched quite a bit. So there's some, like, you have speed early on. It seems like a lot. It just never seems like some nights you have bad luck and you get caught up in a wreck, or something usually happens. If you can keep your nose clean, what do you think? What do you think is your best strategy going into this event?
Oh, first and foremost to me, yeah, it's always trying to avoid whatever's in front of you. And yeah, now there is a lot of times, like, I'm still adjusting to these 360s. Like the 410s, they're tricky. The 305s are easy. These here just kind of throw me off at times depending on tracks. But yeah, utmost, I'm always trying to avoid things. And like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. A lot of times I think it's my fault because I put myself in the wrong place at the wrong time trying to get where I need to. So that, yeah, that usually bites me. But yeah, first and foremost, it's always trying to be aware, because we don't run the mirrors, so that's something new to me. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors there.
Hey, Robert, how do you feel generally around Eldora? There's multiple lines of racing. Do you prefer maybe running down low or up high?
On that one, honestly, at this track, I would have to say that depends on track state, because I don't know. Sometimes to me, that bottom line's faster, but usually as it goes on, it seems like the outside comes into play more.
Hey Rob, uh, if you had one word to describe Eldora, what would that word be and why?
Oh man, that's a tough one there. Awesome would definitely be the first one that comes to mind. Like, I got to go there. Shit, I can't tell you. Oh, shoot, excuse me on that. But anyway, I got to go there like years back when I was younger. Before the old man died, before Tony bought it, he did that. What was it? He called that first $1 million race, I believe is what it was.
The Mopar Million.
Yep.
But yeah, it was an awesome experience. I got to go with my dad. It was pretty cool.
World's greatest dirt track.
I'll stand by that.
I guess I'll ask him sort of like the same question I asked Ty. What would it mean to you to be able to put it in the show or do even better than that?
Oh, like, yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah, if I can make it here or there, yeah, you can bet, boys. I'm gonna be excited as hell. Just, you know what I'm saying?
What are we doing? Drink some beers afterwards?
Well,
I think for sure.
Well, Rob, we appreciate you taking the time to get a word in with us, and we wish you the best of luck for both Monday and Tuesday night. We're all rooting for you to make the show and maybe even get a top 10 or even top 5.
Oh, well, that's kind of the game plan, but I haven't exactly seen the field yet. I already know it's gonna be tough because it always is. That's why I love running with you guys. Like, y'all monitor everything, keep it as clean as you can, and yeah, you assess what needs to be assessed, and yeah, I feel like there's time. Like, I ain't gonna lie, okay, that very first year I ran with y'all at Lincoln to me is one of my worst tracks, and I got a 6th place finish, and everything since then I've been dying. You know what I mean?
I remember that Lincoln finish. There's a reason we haven't been back there since.
But yeah, honestly, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciated the invite from day one. Running with y'all is a blast. I've been working on the rating thing on the side because, like, I'm not like used to, dude. I was on here religiously every day. As soon as I got home from work till the time I went to bed, just running multiple things. And it's like I slacked off the last year or so because everything I had going on. But yeah, I'll get her back in there.
Yeah, man, we appreciate the kind words, and we appreciate your loyalty. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why we invited you in here today, because that has not gone unnoticed between Andrew and I. Like, we've definitely noticed your loyalty from day one, and we greatly appreciate that.
Well, it's like I said, sir. I appreciate the invite you sent me to bring me into this, because this has been a blast.
Yeah, it's been a blast for us too, watching all these great drivers battling it out on track, and each and every week that we host these races, and we hope to keep on bringing them back. But yeah, tonight but the next 2 nights are going to be an even more stacked field than what we've seen so far in the league. So it's going to be even more difficult to make the show for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I already knew that coming into it. Like, I just figured, you know what the hell? Let's see what I can do. And if it works, it works. If not, it don't. It's not meant to be. But, no, I'm gunning to get in there somewhere.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, we're all rooting for you, and we wish you the best of luck for the next 2 nights.
All right, thank you, fellas. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. Have a good night, Rob.
All right, y'all too.
Yeah.
All right, and that was Mr. Robert Puckett there for the interview. So our last one that we were going to interview was Caden Berry. We weren't sure if he was going to make it or not, and it looks like he is at least not in there right now. If he does show up later, we will interview him, but as of now, looks like he is not going to be able to make it. So without further ado, gentlemen, I think it is time for us to move on to our picks. So let me get this pulled up. All right, here we go. So for these picks, so everyone knows, obviously we'll be picking the top 3, who we feel is going to finish top 3 on Tuesday night in the big King's Clash event. Top 3 and also honorable mentions. This can be somebody that you might think maybe it's going to be a hard charger, someone who can maybe challenge for top 3 that's kind of going like under the radar, that's not, maybe kind of underrated and could be an underdog guy. Just somebody you think, is basically just not being talked about and probably should be being talked about. So I'll start things off, and also no one knows each other's picks, so this is going to be a surprise basically to everybody here who's picking what. So I'll start off with my honorable mention. I'm picking somebody who has raced with us now for a few races now, and he's been coming on strong these last couple races in our Summer Sizzle season. He's won his first race just a couple weeks ago, and he's been very fast. He's been very good at running the high side too, and obviously at a place like Eldora, you're definitely going to need that. So my honorable mention for Tuesday night's King's Clash is none other than Justin Osborne.
He certainly has been really good the last couple weeks, and yeah, he just picked up his first win at Kokomo there.
Yep, and even at Lernerville, he was very, very fast. Unfortunately, had a black flag and was a lap down when he had to go in and get a faster pair. But yeah, had it not been for that, he probably would have finished at least second in that race too. So he's been kind of on a hot streak. So that's why I'm going with him. All right, Andrew, you are now up for your honorable mention pick.
All right, let me see here. You've been bugging me for like the last hour to make these picks.
I have. Off screen, I have been bugging him very much to make these picks.
Hey, I'm on like 4 hours of sleep right now, so give me a break. Let's see here. I picked a couple, but
you can only pick one.
I am going to pick one no one else is going to pick. I am going to pick Connor New.
I like it. I
really think he is the wild card in this race because he won our late model event, the Jackpot 100. He almost won last week with a modified race. I haven't seen him in a sprint car. I know he doesn't typically run in a sprint car. But so you don't really know about him, but he's obviously fast in majority of race cars, so that's my honorable mention.
Yep, I was talking to you about it before we went live with this pre-race show. I was saying as soon as I saw that he entered, he was very much a wild card pick. He can be basically anywhere in this field. He can be, all the way back in like the B or the C main, or he could be all the way up in that podium. So it's like who really knows with him? He's a very, very great driver, but we just don't know how he is in the sprint car. That's really the only thing holding it back. So definitely a good honorable mention pick there. Tyler, who is your honorable mention pick?
Well, as I look down through this entry list here today, and we did talk to him just a few moments ago, but I'm going to pick Ty Williams. I like what I've seen from him. We brought the Spring Rush coverage on the Buckeye Racing Network and watched him each and every week. He loves running the outside at Eldora. That's what it's going to take, I believe, to run really well here. So I'm going to go with Ty Williams as my honorable mention pick.
Yeah, I like the pick too. I mean, he sometimes gets caught up in trouble, unfortunately sometimes trouble finds him whether he likes it or not, but I think the key for him is just, if he can stay out of trouble throughout the night and kind of be at least in the show and be starting in a decent enough spot, I think, he can be definitely one to watch for sure. Tim, who is your pick for your honorable mention?
Well, I had a pick, but Mr. Andrew, I took the pick.
I mean, you could take the same person. It's okay.
I think I'm gonna go with someone different here.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my eye on Amanda Menega.
All right. I like it.
Yeah, they have been fast. In the few races lately, they've been up front. They've gotten some trouble occasionally, but when they have a clean track, they've definitely been up front.
Yeah, they've only raced, I think, two races. Yeah, 2 races with us so far in our league, so it's kind of hard to get a full gauge on exactly how good they are. But I mean, so far from what we've seen, they've been decent. So yeah, I think it's a solid pick there. All right, so now we move into our third place pick. So my third place pick, I was telling Andrew I couldn't decide between my second and third. I'm pretty confident on who I'm picking to win, and I think I know my 2 drivers for second and third, but I honestly still am not even sure now about what order I'm picking them in. But I think for third place I'm going with a guy that actually has not raced with us yet ever in the league, but he has pretty much entered and looks like he will be there for Tuesday night, and he's a very, very fast guy, so expectations for him are very high for sure, and I'm picking none other than Kenny Hoffman. Sorry, his name freaking slipped my mind for a second. That's who I'm picking for my third place.
Yeah, that's a big pick. I just got that news less than an hour before the show started, and was very, very happy to have him on board to race the big event.
I mean, I think he's definitely one of the favorites possibly to win the race, but at the same time he hasn't raced with our league yet, so it's kind of hard to just immediately say, he's definitely going to win. So that's why I'm taking him for third. All right, Andrew, now you are up for your third place pick.
I'm going to go with the guy I honestly have seen but never really talked to until last week. I've seen him in a lot of sessions over the years. I'm going to go with Aiden Bryce.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's fair or not, I mean, he is the one that made the fixed setup. So
True.
Gotta be. I mean, not that much advantage because same setup everyone else has. But
yeah, maybe you never know. Maybe he tailored it to his liking and no. No, but I think it's a good pick. I saw that he has. I don't know if I've ever raced with him before in the past, but I know he has a pretty big I rating. So I can definitely see him getting third. So I think that's not a bad pick either. All right, Tyler, you are up now for your third place pick.
Well, I'm going to pick a driver we watched a lot of here on the Buckeye Racing Network, but it always seems like he has some form of bad luck in the races that we've watched. But I'm liking Matt Grimm as my third place.
I as soon as you said about bad luck, I immediately knew who you were taking. Because yes, he's like he is like a bad luck magnet for sure. I'm not even going to deny that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all he has to do is if he can just avoid the bad luck on Tuesday night, keep his nose clean, make it to the show, and put himself in a decent spot, he can definitely be there at the end. Because I know he finished, I believe, second the last time I raced at Eldora in our league, only to Caden Berry.
He's really close.
And and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was in the B main in that race too. Was he not?
Yes, he was.
Yep.
Yes,
so he charged all the way from the B main to second. So he definitely has shown in the past that he has good speed here at Eldora. So I love the pick, Tyler, for sure. Tim, who is your third place pick?
Go out there and I'm going to say the same driver, Matt Grimm. He's always been quick, just never been able to really avoid or have the luck needed to put everything together.
Yeah, definitely. One more thing I did want to add though was that I don't want to jinx him, but these last 2 weeks with our summer sizzle, or 2 out of the last 3 weeks, I should say, he's actually been able to stay away from the bad luck for the most part. Like I said, I hope I didn't jinx him, but so hopefully he's on a roll that he's, kind of avoid the bad luck for a little bit here. But yeah, again, love the pick from you two guys with Matt Grimm. He was definitely in my consideration for either third or honorable mention, that's for sure. All right, so now my second place pick, I'm going with a guy that just started racing with us at the beginning of our summer sizzle season. And I think as soon as I say this next part, Andrew and everyone else is going to know who I'm talking about. He's pretty much taken the fight directly to Caden Berry in the championship. He's been a great addition, been very fast, and we needed that in our league to have somebody challenge Caden for the championship, and we finally got him, and that is none other than Trevor Royer as my second place pick.
Yeah, that's definitely a good pick. It was a great race with the summer showcase. That was his first event he ran with us.
Yeah, true. I forgot about that too.
Really, if it wasn't for a couple cautions, I mean, in a couple of races, I mean, him and Barry are pretty equal the majority of the time that we've seen him so far, and they really just go at each other, and they nice clean racing between each other, and it's a good fight.
Yeah, I will say he did have some bad luck come his way just this past week at Cedar Lake, but hopefully that was just a one-off for him, and he gets back on track here at the King's Clash the next 2 nights. That's what I'm hoping for. So now, Andrew, we're on to your second place pick. He wasn't lying, folks, when he said he didn't have these picks ready until like 5 minutes before.
He just closes his eyes and runs his finger down the entry list and lands on one. That's how it happens.
You know what? I'm going to go with the same one as you, Ben. I'm going to go with Trevor Royer. That is what I'm going to go with for second place.
When in doubt, just copy my pick. I like it.
Hey, someone had to copy someone, and I figured it might as well be me.
I mean, hey, if you're going to copy that one, I think that's a good one to copy, so. I already know you're going to copy my first place pick, though. I will say that.
Oh,
just a hint.
Maybe I'll surprise you.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I can't agree more since I picked him as well. Tyler, you're up for your second place pick.
Well, his name's already been mentioned on the board here tonight, and I got to go with our partners over at Premier Racing Setup, Aiden Price, the builder for the custom fix setup. I foresee him doing really well, and I'm going to choose him for my second place finisher.
Yeah, again, like I said with when Andrew when Andrew picked him for third place, I think yeah, he kind of has already a feel for the setup, so has that slight advantage. But again, since everyone will have 2 hours here coming up to test out that setup, it'll be fairly even. But yeah, I think he should be right there challenging. Tim, who is your second place pick?
I'm gonna have to go with the 3-time pro driver of Mr. Wreck-It Ross Kaiser.
All right. Yeah, I feel like he's very similar to my Kenny Hoffman pick, where again, just somebody that is very good driver, but just hasn't raced with us yet, so we don't really know for sure how to gauge him. But yeah, I think again, expectations for him are pretty high, so I think that's a good second place pick as well.
Funny enough, I'm pretty sure they're actually teammates.
I believe you're right on that. All right, now the moment everyone has been waiting for. Our winners. I will start off, and I'm not going to do anything crazy here as far as my winner. I think my winner is pretty straightforward. I don't even know if I really need to speak on him. The stats in our league kind of speak for themselves as far as how dominant he's been. It's none other than Caden Berry as my winner. I know it's kind of a boring pick. It's like the obvious pick for our league, but he's kind of like a really dominant like sports athlete or team. Like, I mean, I'll give you guys some information. I'm a Patriots fan, so like in the glory days of the Patriots, it's like you always just can't bet against them. And Caden Berry's that same way. It's hard to bet against him. So that's why I'm taking him for the win. And plus, he's also locked in to the King's Clash. Not much bad luck comes his way. He's usually very good about staying clean. But if for some reason there is some bad luck during like the heat race or something like that, he's locked in anyways. So that's my number one pick. Andrew, who are you picking to win the King's Clash?
I got a shocker one for you today.
Oh, you're not picking Caden.
Mm-mm.
I thought maybe you would. All right, I'm excited to see this.
My pick is Bowen Smith.
Wow. That is a shocker pick. I was not expecting that. I mean, not that he can't win this. I mean, I definitely think he's good enough to do it, but that is a very surprising pick. You definitely caught me off guard. I like it though.
I know he has a win with the Dirty Old Bastards League about a month or so ago, and they have a really good field as well. He won there. Every time he showed up with us, he's always up front, and usually ends up with bad luck. I remember at Weed Sport, he like lagged out in turn one. Somehow he didn't take out the whole field when he lagged out. He just disappeared.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, yeah, he's been solid when he does race with us. So I think I definitely think he has at least a good shot at it for sure. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good drivers to pick from. So I think that's a good pick. All right, Tyler, who is your pick to win the King's Clash on Tuesday night?
Well, from what I've seen, I can't go with anybody but Caden Berry for my first place because we've watched many of races. I've been a part of a few races with him, although nowhere near his skill level. But he's so good in these sprint cars. He's smooth. He can run the bottom when it's needed. He can also move up and run the top if it's needed, and he just goes out there and does his thing. So I've got to go with Caden Berry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's he definitely. I think that's why he is so dominant, is because he can run anywhere, and wherever he does run, he's usually very consistent at it. He's not one that's known to make mistakes very often. That's for sure. So I can't agree more with you for that pick.
I do think that with the 40-lap feature on Tuesday, it will help him because usually he does save his tires very well, and that's definitely going to play a factor in that.
Yep, that's a great point as well. He is definitely one of the better drivers for sure at saving his tires. So I do think that's a good point. All right, and last but not least, Mr. Tim Henderson, who is your pick for the King's Clash winner?
I am going to go in the complete opposite direction. The name has been already dropped once earlier, and I believe it was the honorable mention, Connor New.
All right. I like it. I mean, again, like I said, I mean, he's very much a wild card guy that it's really just all comes down to how good he can be in a sprint car, because we know he's very, very good in the late model and modified. So if he can do the same in the sprint car, yeah, I think that's definitely a good pick. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Our picks for the King's Clash on Tuesday night. Definitely a couple shockers in there. And for anybody that was left off our picks, don't feel bad. I mean, there's so many good drivers to pick from, it's kind of hard to only pick 4 for us to mention. I don't imagine any one of us is going to be spot on with our picks, and I kind of hope we're not, because I hope that some other drivers that we didn't mention can prove us wrong and challenge these top 3 spots.
Plus, you never know who's going to enter from now until 8 o'clock Tuesday.
True. All right, so I believe the last thing we have before we close out here is Andrew has an announcement for some upcoming events. So I will hand it over to Andrew for that.
Yes, I do. I would like to officially announce, other than our rest of the summer sizzle season, which will start back up again next Monday at 8:40. I'd like to announce first our first ever official 305 race. It's going to be the 305 Nationals. It's not the Knoxville Nationals, because we have chosen Volusia Speedway Park for the event. And not only that, it is going to be a 3,000 iRating and under event. And I haven't came up with the exact details yet, but Tim and Tyler are going to broadcast it on the Buckeye Racing Network, and it'll be on Labor Day night. It'll start at 8:30. I believe we have a $10 entry fee, and you're going to pay the top 5 or 10. I'll have the information on that out within the next couple weeks. And also the 360 Nationals. We are going to have a 360 Knoxville Nationals, and it is only going to be one night only. That event is going to have at least a top 10 payout, and it's going to pay pretty substantially. The winner is not going to get as much as the King's Clash, but it will be spread out throughout the field, a lot like our modified event last week, except it will be open setup. It'll be our first ever 360 race. That'll be open setup for our league. And I'm still working on the broadcast for that, but that is going to be Tuesday night that week on September 3rd. And we have a lot more coming up, but that is our next big blockbuster event that we have here with Reigel Promotions E-Sports.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait for both of those. The 305 race, I know I'm excited for. We've had a couple different drivers ask for not only a 305 race, but also a race that's capped at a certain I rating to give some of our less experienced drivers a chance to race for some money and actually battle for some money. So we are definitely bringing that. And also this 360 Nationals, yeah, I'm excited for that as well. Andrew has already shown me some of the details he has in the works for that. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great event. I'm really excited to see it. So yeah, stay tuned in the Discord for more information on that coming up. Anything else you want to add to that, Andrew, or is that it?
I guess I'll mention a few of my other things I've been thinking about doing. So the fall season, we are looking to do a similar thing with the 305s. We're going to add them on as I don't know if I'd say the feeder series, but kind of like that, where we have like a 3,000 I rating cap, and that will be either free or like a $5 entry if we get that broadcasted. And the 360s would be obviously the next step up with like 2,500 and over for that. And I have a lot more ideas, but I will keep my mouth shut for now.
Okay. I like it. But yeah, like I said, we heard some of the feedback as far as adding some sort of feeder series kind of thing like that for the 305s, and we hope this is gonna make some of you guys happy out there, some of you regulars. All right, well, gentlemen, I believe that is all we have to cover. I still don't see Caden Barry, so I'm guessing, like I said, I don't think he was able to quite make it tonight, so that is okay. I know he's a very busy man, so that is totally fine. All right, so it is just past 8 o'clock here, guys, so the practice should be open once either Andrew or actually Andrew is the only one that has the steps. So once Andrew gets in there, he will share the setups with everyone that's in there. Again, it'll be open setup, so I mean, technically you are more than welcome to use whatever setup you want, but obviously it would make sense to use one of the 3 setups that we share because they're fixed setups. So we'll be there in just a couple moments, and I want to wish all the drivers that are racing either just Monday night, just Tuesday night, or both nights, whatever your plans are for the next couple of nights, I want to wish everyone the best of luck. Have fun. And keep it clean. Number one thing, keep it clean. And yeah, does anyone else have any other closing thoughts?
Oh, if I could, real quick, just thanks to you guys here at Reigel for having us be on board here for the King's Clash event and for future the 305 Nationals at Volusia. Just happy to be a part of it. It's been a great partnership for us here at the Buckeye Racing Network, and each and every one of you that's going to be a part of the race, and your families tune into the broadcast. The links are in the Discord. Hit the subscribe button for the channel. We certainly appreciate all of that and everybody at RPES.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys broadcasting it. So again, everyone, that's Buckeye Racing Network on YouTube for the broadcast for the next 2 nights, and also our main broadcaster in the league. So make sure to check them out if you're going to watch either one of the next 2 nights coming up. Andrew,
also, if you're a driver out there that is on the fence or would like an invite to this race, as it is invite only, feel free to reach out to our Facebook page or me or anybody else, as we'd love to have you. And we're just looking for drivers that just want to have fun. We want to put on a good show for everyone involved, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you everyone for all your support all the time, and good luck this week.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. I'm right there with you. Thank you to all the drivers have made our league a success so far, and we hope to continue building in the future. All right, guys, like I said, practice is open. And that concludes our pre-race show. We'll see you, if you're not going to be in the practice tonight, we'll see you either tomorrow night for the Sovereign Showdown or Tuesday night for the big $200 winning Kings Clash.